important here to mention that the steady state economy is not a static economy in which nothing ever changes. The term steady state was applied to the economic concept by the economic dissident and guru Herman Daly 20 or more years ago, but it actually relates to a concept in physics known as the thermodynamics of non-equilibrium systems. And it is a fundamental thing that comes from cosmic physics. It is something that one of the fundamental truths we know, and that is that it's perfectly possible to have a system which is taking in resources, emitting wastes, and so forth, but can still be entirely stable for vast, long periods of time. This is the sort of thing that we're talking about in terms of the steady-state economy, in which humanity consciously and deliberately controls itself and its greed in order to live in a benign, cooperative relationship with Mother Nature. It does not mean shutting off the forests and never going into them. It does not mean that we all have to turn into vegans or anything like that, although eating a great deal less meat would be a very good thing. It does mean that we have a benign, respectful relationship with Mother Nature. And I have to say that although the language used, the metaphors and so forth, are markedly different, we have a great deal to learn from indigenous peoples, particularly in our case Tangata Whenua, about just how to do that. Because they came to New Zealand 1,000 more years ago. They came and they grew and they exploited and they extracted and they ate and so forth for about 300 or 400 years, until suddenly they discovered they were actually exceeding the carrying capacity of their environment and they were getting into trouble. They then developed a very complex and very benign relationship, most of them, the ones that didn't resort to military use, and they are the great gardeners, cultivators, and and fishers and so forth, and they know how to do it. We can learn a lot from them. But the best of modern ecological understanding is exactly the same, tells us exactly the same thing. So it's not a case of Pākehā saying, oh, Māori, tell us how to do it, or Māori saying, what's the science in this? It's getting together and talking to each other. And there's already a lot of that going on ahead, and we need more of it.
Start the debate and discussion now about economic alternatives. Stop accepting that the way we live now is something we cannot change, because we can.